In the deep waters of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, where the waves never cease, tens of thousands of Asian fishermen silently cast lines tens of kilometers long each year to catch rare fish such as tuna and swordfish. Smaller and medium-sized boats, sometimes only about 15 to 30 meters long, carry a huge mission, bringing to the mainland millions of bluefin tuna, big-eye tuna, and swordfish with extremely high commercial value. The longline fishing method, also known as longline fishing, is both an art and a technique, requiring experience, perseverance and sacrifice from fishermen during sea trips that last for weeks, even months. Before each trip, fishermen carefully prepare everything from hooks, bait boxes to fish preservation. The fishing lines can be up to 80 to 150 kilometers long, and are strung out in the sea with thousands of hooks attached to small fish, live squid or frozen sardines. Each hook is hung about 50 to 70 meters apart, and the entire line is let drift with the ocean currents, where tuna and swordfish often move to find food. To increase fishing efficiency, fishermen use GPS devices, fish finders, and monitor water temperature and depth to know exactly where the fish are moving. Once the fishing lines are dropped, the waiting begins. In the dark of night or early morning, each section of line is pulled back up by hand or by reel. And at this point it is a relentless battle between man and the ocean. Tuna weighing from tens to hundreds of kilograms struggle violently when pulled up. Blood splashing, and cold sea water whipping into the fishermen's faces. Swordfish are more dangerous. With long beaks like sword blades, they can pierce the side of the boat or seriously injure the fisherman if they are careless. Asian fishermen, from Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, to Vietnam, all have their own techniques to control the fish, using iron hooks, electric batons, and coordination between crew members to safely bring the fish into the hold. As soon as the fish is brought onto the boat, the preliminary processing and preservation process takes place extremely quickly. The tuna is gutted on the spot. The intestines are removed. The blood is taken, and then put in ice or deep freezers below -40 degrees Celsius. This ensures that the fish retains its freshness and beautiful red meat color to serve the export market, especially Japan, where the price of bluefin tuna can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars for one fish. Swordfish is also treated similarly, with white, firm, nutritious meat, popular in Europe and the US. Every year, millions of tuna and swordfish are caught this way, bringing huge revenue to the fishing industry of many Asian countries. However, the price is restless sleep on the rocking deck, calloused hands from pulling the line, and red eyes from constant sleeplessness in the conditions of big waves and strong winds. Many people have lived their whole lives at sea, continuing the profession of their ancestors. And many have forever remained in the middle of the vast ocean. Asian fishermen are not only hard workers, they are true seafarers, understanding every wind and every current. They know when tuna move east, when swordfish will appear in the deep water. With perseverance and experience accumulated over many generations, they have turned the longline fishing method into an effective and sustainable system. serving both the global food demand and maintaining the traditional fishing profession of their people. Although the modern world is developing large-scale industrial fishing technologies, small boats using long lines of Asian fishermen still quietly cling to the sea, contributing significantly to the world's supply of high-quality seafood. And after each long sea voyage of thousands of nautical miles, there are fresh fish, a full sleep after a series of hard days, and the pride of the children living in the heart of the ocean. There is no job that is as closely associated with the harshness of nature as longline tuna and swordfish fishing. As soon as the sun rises, silhouettes move silently on the slippery wet deck, their hands firmly holding the steel wire, their eyes looking out at the endless ocean. They work in silence. With only the sound of waves, the roar of the ship's engine and the sound of the steel wire tightening when a large fish is pulled up. On each ship is a team of 6 to 20 people, working in shifts, taking turns pulling the wire, baiting, gutting the fish and cleaning the deck continuously. It is a month-long, non-stop grind, where each person has no concept of day or night. Only the time to catch fish and the time to refuel and resupply from land or the mother ship. Tuna and swordfish are not just objects of fishing, they are living treasures in the ocean. Bluefin tuna in particular, a species that can live for more than 40 years and weigh over 400 kilograms, are sought after for their premium quality meat, used in high-end sushi and sashimi. In Japan, where most of the world's bluefin tuna is consumed, qualified fish can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and sometimes fetch more than $1 million at auction at Tokyo's Toyosu Fish Market. For fishermen in Asia, especially those in central Vietnam, the southern Philippines, or Indonesia's Maluku Islands, catching a giant bluefin tuna is a life-changing event for a family. However, along with the huge economic value comes fierce competition and the risk of resource depletion. Asian countries have had to sign many international agreements to control tuna and swordfish catches, applying annual quotas, limiting the number of vessels, and regulating fishing bans according to the fish's spawning season. Many NGOs and scientists also accompany fishermen to tag fish, track their movements, and apply fishing techniques that do not harm other species such as sea turtles, sharks, and seabirds. Some fishermen in Japan and the Philippines also apply the selective fishing method by using live bait, special fishing lines that can be separated when the fish are not suitable to bite, helping to protect the marine ecosystem. On each trip, the story is not only about catching fish, but also about survival between humans and nature. There have been fierce storms that suddenly hit, sweeping away fishing lines, breaking the ship's side, or completely losing contact with the mainland. There have been fishermen who never returned, leaving only their boots and old raincoats hanging on the deck. And there are also rare moments, when the last fish is pulled up. When the sea is calm, the crew gathers around a pot of hot rice, telling each other about the near-death experiences, the times they hit the jackpot in the middle of the ocean. That is a special bond, the flesh and blood of the sea profession, something that only those who have drifted for months can understand. Under the flickering yellow lights of fishing boats moored in the harbor, tons of tuna and swordfish are unloaded. transferred to processing plants, and frozen for export around the world. From these fish, Japanese sushi has a perfect sweet and fragrant flavor. Western stir-fried dishes are more flavorful, and diners everywhere enjoy the freshest seafood from the most distant seas. But few people know that behind that is the sweat, tears, and sometimes blood, of Asian fishermen who struggle every day in the ocean, just to pull each fish from the deep. Today, as the fishing industry enters a period of modernization, many Asian countries still preserve the longline method as a tradition. Improvements in technology help fishermen track fish flows more easily, preserve fish better. But the core of the profession is still people, perseverance, courage and love of the sea. Longline fishing is not just a profession, it is a way of life. A source of pride for Asian fishermen, who silently contribute to feeding the world with their own hands in the vast ocean. And when each new wind season begins to blow, when fish begin to move towards warmer waters, each fleet of boats quietly leaves the dock. On it, hundreds of fishermen continue to stretch long lines across the blue sea, not only to catch fish, but also to extend their tradition and aspiration to live in the vast ocean. In the thick darkness where only the lights of boats and the moonlight shine, long lines continue to drift, like invisible threads connecting people and the ocean. In every Asian country, from Japan, South Korea to Vietnam, Indonesia or the Philippines, longline fishing for tuna and swordfish has created an entire ecosystem of labor, where communities depend on the sea. Where children grow up watching their fathers return from the sea with sunburned skin and scratches from fishing lines. People do not live only on fish, but on the spirit of the sea, independent, resilient and full of sacrifice. In Japan, the fleets specializing in bluefin tuna are the pride of the entire fishing industry. They use advanced technology combined with traditional techniques that have been passed down through many generations. Japanese fishermen are extremely meticulous in choosing bait, fishing time, and especially pay attention to fish preservation. Even a slightly bruised tuna can be judged as low quality and sold at a cheaper price. Therefore, when catching fish, fishermen must act extremely quickly and precisely to preserve the shape, freshness and color of the meat. Meanwhile, in the Philippines and Indonesia, where thousands of islands form a wonderful ecological maze for tuna to live and reproduce, small wooden boats still go out to sea every day. Despite the lack of modern equipment, there, human power and experience play a key role. Fishermen use live bait such as herring or squid to lure fish, and some even dive into the water to check the fishing line or remove entangled fish. In Vietnam, especially in provinces such as Phu Yen, Cang Hoa or Bien Dinh, longline fishing for oceanic tuna has become a brand. Tuna weighing hundreds of kilograms are pulled up from the Truong Sa Sea, then processed right on the boat and brought ashore for export to Japan. There are fishermen who have followed their fathers to sea since they were 17 or 18 years old. And even when their hair turns grey, they still live a life of eating the waves and talking to the wind. They know every current, every time the fish eats bait, and even just by feeling the tip of the line, they can tell if a tuna or swordfish has bitten the hook. Pressure from climate change, marine pollution and overfishing are serious challenges for longline fishing in Asia. Many seas are depleted. tuna are becoming smaller. Harder to find and moving further from shore. This forces fishermen to go further, incurring more costs, while the risks at sea are increasing. But it is in adversity that people show their mettle. Many fishing communities have learned to adapt, using environmentally friendly hooks, applying seasonal fishing methods, or participating in marine resource monitoring programs. In some places, fishermen are trained to become fish taggers for scientific projects, recording information about length, weight, and catch location, thereby contributing to the conservation and monitoring of the health of tuna and swordfish populations. The seafood processing and export industry in Asia has also developed in parallel, creating millions of jobs related to sorting, freezing, packaging and transporting fish to international markets. Freezers in port cities such as Busan, South Korea, Shimizu, Japan, General Santos, Philippines, or Quy Nhon, Vietnam, operate day and night to process the huge amount of fish brought in from the sea. It all starts with Longlines, simple but effective, primitive but sustainable. It can be said that the art of longline fishing for tuna and swordfish in Asia is a clear demonstration of the harmony between tradition and modernity, between human power and technology, between conquering nature and respecting the ecosystem. It is a value chain where each fish is not only a commercial product, but also a symbol of the courage, resilience and great skills of the fishermen. They are not just fishermen, they are storytellers, inspirers and preservers of the sea culture for generations. And when each boat returns to port, the whistle sounds, the ice chests are lowered, each tuna sparkles silver in the sunlight. There, a new story begins, the story of Asian fishermen, with calloused hands but hearts full of aspirations, still day and night continuing the journey between people and the vast ocean. Amidst the cheers when the last tuna is pulled onto the deck, are the silent eyes of sailors who have spent dozens of days without touching land. They do not cheer for money, but for victory, the victory of humans over harsh nature, the victory of perseverance, of courage and endurance that have been forged from generation to generation. At major fishing ports such as Bitung, Indonesia, Davao, Philippines, Nagasaki, Japan, or Hunro Port, Cang Hoa, Vietnam, when the ships stock, another cycle begins. The fish are loaded onto refrigerated trucks, sorted by weight, flesh color and freshness, before heading out to the world. A high-quality bluefin tuna can be cut into fatty sashimi pieces on a Tokyo banquet table. A swordfish over 2 meters long, with firm white meat, can be packaged for export to Europe to serve in luxury restaurants. And those same fish, when still in the net or on the hook in the middle of the ocean, were once a life and death struggle for the fisherman clinging to the rope in the stormy sea.